Understand this, and you will achieve anything in your life. What is this? Today, I'm going to teach you about a very powerful force that once you can understand this, you will change your entire life. Your reality will never be the same, or how you view reality will never be the same. Today I'm going to teach you how quantum physics and energy works. Quantum physics is basically a science that shows us how everything comes into existence. And what I want to do, I want to point you in a direction so that when you get this understanding, you will see how powerful you truly are, and you will be amazed at what actual reality is. Because once you can get this concept, just the overall understanding of this principle, you can literally manipulate energy. Energy is the base component of what everything is made of. After all, manifesting is basically manipulating energy. And energy and your vibration. So here's the key points I want you to really keep in mind. Vibration and energy. Vibration and energy. When you can master those two components, you can achieve anything. How is that possible? I'm going to show you right now. Let's get into it. All right, as I said, quantum physics is basically the science of how things come into our existence. So, in the 1600s, or a few hundred years back, we had Isaac Newton. And we all remember the apple fell from the tree, we had gravity. So we call that Newtonian physics, which is basically up until 100 years ago, we believed that everything we see around us was solid matter. So we had this notion that everything is physical objects and solidity. And then 100 years later, we discovered quantum physics, and that shook the world. Because now we know what that reality, or what we thought was physical, was not. So basically, all of us, we are in fact a community with ourselves of energy of atoms. You have trillions of atoms, subatomic particles right now in your body. Every single physical object that you see, they are made from atomic particles. The atomic particles themselves aren't made from anything. They are everything, which is energy. That's what they are. So when you think of energy, just think of it as this, you can put it in your mind as maybe a vibrating strand or energetic field of light or a plasma. The idea is, I want you to get the idea that there is a fundamental force that's not visible. You cannot, it's not something that you can physically hold or touch. It's like light. It's pretty much light. You can pass your hand through it and it becomes transparent. That's what the energy or the atomic particle is. And then you have even smaller particles, which are called the subatomic particles, which makes up the atom. Some of these particles are called gluons, muons. And then we have another particle which we found that's called the Higgs boson. They call that the God particle. They found that that particle is what glues everything together to make the world, to make it simple terms. That's why they call it the God particle, because they feel that particle is responsible for everything coming into existence. That's known as the Higgs boson. So why is it important for me to know all this, Mark? Because once you have an understanding of this, you can have an understanding of how to create your life by design. All right, so now we know that everything is comprised of these energy. All right, here's the other thing now. Trick about your brain. Your mind literally tricks you. It hallucinates you to think what you're seeing is real based on the stimulus or stimuli it picks up from light. So when you look around, you're seeing visible light. That's what we all see. Visible light gives us the illusion of seeing real things. House, car, you, me, everything. It makes the illusion even more real or believable because when we interact with it, we think we're touching or feeling things. But that interaction is basically another trick from your mind, which is nerve cells interacting with electrochemical signals, and it gives a message to tell your brain that I am touching that. But in actual truth, you're not touching anything. It's just the reaction from you with the interaction of these particles. Now, these particles, they have positive and negative charges. They have an electron. Everything has an electron, has this component that backs. So when you touch the wall and you feel the pressure of the wall, what's actually happened is the electron in the wall, electron in your fingers repel each other. Hence, you get the sensation of touch. Okay? Make sense? We understand that? All right, let's move on now. Energy now. So when we create anything, we interact within the mind. Our thoughts, they exist in this universal field. And when you put something in your mind, you're putting it in a transparent form in what we call the real reality. And I can prove that to you because here's something to think about. When you put a thought in your head, your brain actually doesn't know the difference between real or imagined. So when you're thinking of something, your mind believes it's actually happening. Try it. Think of something that makes you feel good. Notice the emotions that come up. Your heart start beating, may start perspiring. That's because your mind believes your body's reacting and it actually thinks it's happening. So there's not any difference between what you see in the physical and what you see in the mental. Let me repeat that. It's very important. There's not any difference mentally in what you see in the physical and in the mental according to how your body responds. And when I'm talking about the mind, I'm particularly speaking about your subconscious mind. All right. So how quantum physics works is this. So they call it the observer effect. So the particle, or let's say the atom that makes everything, it exists in a couple states. So it's always in something that looks real, and then it flashes back to something that isn't real. So they call that a wave. When it's not something real, it's a wave. When it's something real, it's a particle. So what is the wave? So when it's not something real, it is something possible for everything. So the wave means the probability of everything you want. It exists right there. So when you take it from the wave, using your mind, you can bring it into what is real. I repeat that again, because I don't want you to get confused. Here it is. So the act of you thinking of something collapses from the invisible, from that wave of probabilities, into something real. So let's say you are thinking of owning a business or owning your new car. You collapse that from particle into a wave. So the wave becomes a particle. So rather you collapse the wave to a particle because it exists as a potential. It's in your mind. You're thinking of it. It's not actually in your physical reality yet, right? But it's in the mental aspect. But you conjure it up and now it starts to become particle. Okay? So from the particle, how do you get it to a physical reality? How do I get to experience it? The key again is your energy and your vibration. So example, if I continue to think about the house, think about that car, I am putting energy, I am putting more momentum, more atoms, more particles. Energy manipulates reality, all right? So if I continue to think about the house and the car all the time, or over and over, I concentrated much energy, and what happens now, here's where the law of attraction comes in, with that force. Because my energy and my thought is there, that wave collapsed to a particle. The particle starts to grow. It becomes more probability, becomes more actuality, and then boom, eventually it becomes a real thing through the law of attraction, which creates the environment, okay? And then through your subconscious mind, it organizes it for you to experience it. That's quantum physics. See that? That's how powerful you are. That's why it's important to have a basic understanding of quantum physics. And that's what I want you to understand. So the reason, if you can understand this, because now you know that there is really no limits for you. So whatever, if you're in a situation you feel stuck, or you feel there's no hope and I can't get out because I can't see a way out, all that is an illusion, because all you're doing is manipulating energy through your vibration. Now let's go to vibration. And now you know energy is what creates and manifests reality. Your vibration is what takes you to get it. So there are things called frequencies. Frequencies, just look at frequencies as the things you desire there on that part. So look at frequencies as just this place where everything you want resides. So there's a different frequency for everything. There's a frequency for love, money, house, anything. So look at it like that. So if you want to get to the frequency of, say, love, you have to raise your vibration to match love. You want to get to the frequency of money, raise your vibration to match money, and etc., etc. So how do you raise your vibration to match those things? Or better yet, how does the universe know that your vibration wants love instead of money, or money instead of love? Well, it's called your intention. See, when you have an intention, that tells the universe what vibration to put you on to the certain frequency. So if you have an intention, say, I intend to find my perfect mate, I intend to find this, the vibration now raises and the universe automatically knows that's the frequency you want to go. Okay? So your intention is very important. Okay? So let's do a quick review here. So quantum physics shows you how everything comes into existence. Now you know your thoughts, things you see in the head, and the things you see in reality, the body cannot differentiate. Hence, reality is transparent. You put enough energy, focus on what you want in the mind, it eventually starts to build pressure or collapse critical mass. Then eventually, through law of attraction, right, which is that force, subconscious organizes it, you experience it in different frequencies. Whatever you want, get your vibration up. How do you get your vibration up to match it? Your intention. What is an intention? Making a decision on what you want, not necessarily how you're going to do it. Decide, this is what I want. There's an intention. Once you build the intention, desire. Desire means think about it, focus on it, visualize it. Don't get too caught up on it. Let it go. Universe automatically knows. The vibration reaches that point through your subconscious, you'll get to experience it. Boom. You understand that, you can change anything. You can manifest anything. That's how you manipulate energy, and that's how you manifest reality.